As we've just seen, drugs make your problems go away. So make it the best day possible. Remember, it's drugs that counts. Take one and take a chance.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Please welcome Max Headshroom, Del, Aria Blackness, and your most gracious host, Ben Motherfucking Jackson. Applause. Applause. Applause.
This is the first time that all four of us have been together in a while.
Yeah.
We got all the Ninja Turtles reunited
Yeah.
once again. I'm wearing my Cobra Kai shirt and the black gi because I'm a mean bad guy. I'm a bully. And when Italian kids move into my town, I antagonize them with my gang of blonde bullies. You know, that's just real life for me. That movie was really hit home for me, but I identified with the bad guys in that movie.
I identified with the bad guys as well, and I think that was mainly because they don't really do much that's bad. Like Danielson is a bit of a prick, really.
Yeah, he kind of is. Like,
yeah.
So where are you guys on the whole Daniel's the villain of the movie thing?
Well, he's just a douchebag.
Yeah, he's just a dick. As a kid, I never really cottoned on to that side of it. I just knew I didn't like him, and I knew he just didn't seem to me like he's too flimsy with his movements, man. I wanted to see him and like he looks just as shit as he does at the beginning of the film as at the end when he does his shitty crane kick.
Yeah.
There's no way he was knocking that kid out with that.
Yeah, he reminds me of Bambi when he's doing his.
Yeah, he's like all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My problem with Ralph Macchio is my same problem that I have with Timothy Chalamet. Like, great actor, really cool and everything, but I just can't believe that the Emperor of the Universe is this scrawny little skinny kid. You know, like I don't know, they're missing something.
Yeah.
They don't have the bodies to pull off the characters that they play.
Yeah.
No, and when I heard Cobra Kai was coming out, I was like, "Oh, we'll see what he looks like now." He looks the same. He looks exactly the same. He's gone through his 30s and 40s, and his body has not changed at all.
Right.
He's got a bit of a dad belly, though, right? Like a little bit of a.
Yeah, that's even worse, though, isn't it? He should be like at that point. He should be like his equivalent of Mr. Miyagi.
He should look like Bruce Lee, surely, if he's like Valley Tudo champion.
Exactly. Whatever. He's a two-time All Valley champ. Like,
although, right, as someone who has done these karate tournaments, I can promise you, all the black belts have big fat bellies. So, real life accurate.
Do they spar though?
No. That'd be why.
Yeah. Well, basically, Ralph became in Cobra Kai. He became the little prick that we always assumed he would be.
Yeah, it's kind of fitting though. I'm kind of glad that the original Karate Kids, or the first three, had him like that in that light, because now it all makes sense in the Netflix series. You know what I mean? It's like, he would have turned into a prick like that.
Yeah, he would, because he never had any patience or anything to begin with. Even by the third one, Mr. Miyagi was like going over the same lessons.
Yeah,
just stop being a dickhead. Like we've been through 2 films now, and I took you to China.
Well, he was
still doing the same shit. I showed you the crane kick. I showed you how to break some ice in a bar, and he's still being a prick.
I showed you how to grow a bonsai tree. And told you all my tree nurturing habits, and you still screwed that up.
Yeah. Like I don't even know why I chose to train you, Danielson, because you're pretty, like, compared to some other lads that wanted it, you're pretty flipping inept.
I think I think I like the third one because he's just really trying to fight his prickness by staying out of the tournament.
Yeah,
no, I don't want to be a prick. Forget about it.
Yeah, doesn't he smash someone's face in a bar just because they're like, "Hey"?
He's kind of turned into like
Bites
a
his
Jackie
nose.
Chan. Know what I mean? By the
Yeah.
like, there's a one scene. I think he's with the girl. Yeah, I think he's with the girl because the what's his name Barnes kicks the freaking girl in the scene where he they're trying to get him to sign it and he's like, dude, I don't want no problems. He's like hitting everybody. like Jackie Chan. No, I don't want no problems. I just know how to fight. You ever see the comedian? Please, I don't want no problems. I just know how to.
Yeah. He always escalates things, right? He's always saying with his mouth that he doesn't want to fight, but indicating with his body language that he wants to.
Yeah, that's LaRusso in the third one.
Yeah, Johnny's the better.
And then in the Netflix series, it all unleashes after he kicks. I can't remember his competition's name, but he has like the coffee in his hand and he does that spinning kick to kick the coffee off of his off his hand. That's when the old LaRusso comes back. The dick.
He's still being an asshole. And he won that tournament with illegal moves, didn't he?
Yeah, and nothing makes sense about that final fight. Like Johnny's
I don't know.
On points. He does an illegal move that is similar to the one that Johnny's teammate gets thrown out for. Yeah. I feel sorry for Johnny loads in that because he's consistently misunderstood. Like he's defending his girlfriend against some bloke who's trying to come on to her.
Yeah,
right. And he gets branded the asshole. And he's the one that's been training since he was a kid. And then
this guy comes in, and after 1 year of Miyagi magic,
with an illegal move, and he's clearly the better, more athletic guy as well.
What are you talking about? Wax on, wax off is like the ultimate. That's the fastest road to karate greatness.
Well, I got mixed feelings about that because I like the philosophy of obeying without understanding why, and of the muscle memory through discipline and hard work. I like that in theory, but Max is right. Like Johnny's been training karate since he was a little kid, and then for someone to just come in and in 1 year, and anyways, any sport where you can become a black belt in 1 year is not a real martial art.
Yeah.
We're thinking of this if you want to talk about the philosophy of it, let's not think of it like a sport, right? Because what Miyagi was trying to teach Daniel is that karate is not just a go to the gym, learn how to fight sport. It's a way of life. Right? You take it with.
That is true, Arya. However, for the purposes of that single tournament, it didn't matter how good what his philosophy was like. Yeah. He should have got the shit beaten out of him.
Yeah, that's weird, right? Because it's also a story about how to stand up to your bullies, right?
You try and steal their girlfriend, then you punch them in the face when you pretend to shake their hand.
Right.
Then when they're minding their own business in a Halloween party, you just
cheap
pour
shots,
water on the fucking head and then get your sensei
revenge,
to beat the shit out of them.
Try to humiliate them. Yeah. This is how to stand up to bullies. Like, I'm not sure about that.
I actually kind of like him turning into a little, looking back at it and watching it as an adult now and being like, yeah. Well, I mean, because every bully story, the other kids just he just can't catch a break. He's always getting shit on in every corner. It's cool to see him be I would do that if I was getting bullied. I'd try to I'll be like, F this guy. I'm freaking gonna get his ass and I'm gonna leave.
But he's not getting bullied. He doesn't get bullied.
That's true.
He's the one that walks in and causes the shit every single time, and it's because he's obsessed with that girl, and he won't let it go. But,
obsessed with that girl that he immediately dumps her, and then fucks off to Okinawa. To do it again.
That film, even let's say for the sake of it, he was dead into her. All that film is for nothing as far as she's concerned because he just drops her ass.
What was the Japanese his girlfriend there's name again?
What was her name?
Saki something key. It's some cute name.
I know Arya's gotta go, so let's go through it. First we'll talk about the tournament and the moves, then we'll talk about the wax on, wax off, philosophy. So
sure.
first of all, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do this in karate, but maybe I'm wrong. Like, that was a scissor.
Smash
That
their
looks
face
cool,
into the
though.
floor.
That
was
looks
a
pretty cool, though.
scissor.
Yeah.
That was a scissor sweep. Can you do scissor sweeps in karate?
Yeah. Well, you can
Yeah?
sweep. Whether,
You can
whether
sweep?
You can I don't know. That one's tricky.
You want to see it again?
Like, even looking at that, I just don't see how he's got the pivoting leg strength to drop Johnny. Like,
looks
I think
cool,
I think he'd just stand there and go, "What are you doing?"
Have you guys ever seen?
And like nothing would be happening. Yeah,
That's like
and
something
smashing his nose into the floor. I'm pretty sure that's not.
Yeah. No.
You can't do that, right?
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Alright.
about the scissor sweep though. That might be allowed.
Well, yeah, you can definitely sweep. It's just like what kind of sweeping?
Because
But
then-
some you can't do axe kicks in, some you can. So
Well, this is like a weird. It's points fighting what they're doing, right? But they're hitting really hard. That doesn't exist. So like you either have a contact fight or a points fight, right?
yeah,
So
You're not meant to hit as hard as you can in a points fight.
No, it's about being fast.
It's
So,
about fast and accurate.
people do get knocked out, like because.
Oh yeah,
If
did
you
you
throw,
see
if
the
you're throwing
Olympics?
like a fast kick and it hits you square in the chin, you're out. You know. What I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, he's right.
Because it seems like you can't like hit someone's head against the ground like
no.
Oh, definitely not.
like Conor
you wouldn't get
McGregor
You
blocked
style.
can't even do
You
that
probably
in MMA, right? Can you imagine John Jones like bang?
Yeah, just smashing his head against the floor. Be all
Well,
over,
actually,
wouldn't
I
it?
think you can do that in MMA.
No,
Yeah.
No, you
No?
can't grab
you
someone's
can't.
head and slam it. Can you?
you can't slam the head against the ground like that. Not like that.
You might have been able to when it was like Pride or whatever.
Yeah.
where you could just
Yeah,
do
when
anything.
back when Brock Lesnar was fighting, you
Yeah.
could probably get away with
Pride,
it.
man. You could just bring a gun and. no
So
one
he's
would
a
say
dirty fighter, is the point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, they're all dirty fighters. Even
Oh, yeah,
Cobra Kai,
everyone's
like
just a fucking
if you watch the rest
Cobra
of
Kai's dirty as well. Yeah.
if you watch Cobra Kai, man, they like a lot of stuff they do. Like I'm just like, what in the world? Like,
Pretty
like they're
filthy.
just going in. There's one in the last tournament where I think it was Russo versus Barnes. Like when he was like beating the crap out of him after the freaking buzzard or bell. I can't remember what it was. He's just going at it. He's doing all this like crazy like illegal stuff. I'm just like, damn,
Doesn't
bro.
he beat Barnes by just doing a kata and confusing him?
I
Yeah.
forgot what he does. I don't remember he ends
he
by just
does.
like hitting him
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
freaking body. That's all I remember.
Because the point of the third movie was like katas on the one hand in the Miyagi philosophy versus like effective fighting karate, and then the conclusion of the movie is that he needed a
Kata.
kata to defeat a better fighter.
But
because
it's
the-
like
and
when
he's like
doing it-
mesmerized by it.
Yeah,
He's like,
he's like
Whoa.
going, what the hell is he doing? Like what? And he's just doing
You know, Johnny wouldn't have. Johnny would have just went straight up and tried to punch.
Yeah.
Johnny would have been like,
Just
cut the
sweat
crap.
leg.
that. Haven't you been doing
can't do
karate for,
katas
like,
on the
ever?
floor.
You know what a fucking kata is, don't you? And he's what the fuck is he
Yeah,
doing,
he
man?
should know. He should have known what it was.
It's funny because
Just
like
cuts back
Yeah.
to him, he's like,
Isn't that guy's like
Rolling a jab.
poster boy for karate and he's never seen a kata before?
yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. I
You
think
guys-
that's the least good of all the
Did you-
Karate Kid
You
movies.
guys remember the scene where Miyagi fights he fights Terry
Priest.
Silver. No, he fights both of them
Oh
in
yeah.
the dojo.
Oh, they get covered.
And he's like, whoa! It's like
brilliant. The
Mr.
dude
Miyagi
who
doesn't
plays
do
his
any of
brother.
that stuff, man. Mr. Miyagi just goes in there and just kicks butt.
Yeah.
Like,
What's his
like
name? The guy that teaches Johnny.
Terry Silver.
Yeah,
Is his name? Yeah.
he's the guy that plays his brother. He's fucking brilliant in that film. He's so funny.
And then after that, after
He's like
Miyagi,
so evil.
after Miyagi kicks his ass, he's like, wow.
Oh yeah. He's like, whoa. Yeah, like making fun of it.
Yeah, that was
really
a good
funny.
bit. I love that.
It was my favorite scene because they like you actually get to see this dude fight.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, the Miyagi fight scenes are the best from the show for sure.
I think that's the reason why we accept LaRusso winning, and we're just like, yeah, because we ultimately want Mr. Miyagi to be successful. We don't really care about LaRusso. We care about we care about Miyagi, the war hero.
Yeah, as a kid afterwards, it's Miyagi you want to meet, right? It's not Daniel.
Yeah, we can give a crap about Danielson.
Well, in that, if that's true, then did you like the fourth Karate Kid movie where it's Hilary Swank?
Karate Kid.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
didn't
the
see
next
it.
Karate Kid, do we?
The next Karate Kid. Did
The
you guys
next
see that
Karate
one?
Kid.
Yeah,
No.
I saw it when I was I didn't think it was too bad. It's just it's there.
I think it's okay.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. I mean, I really appreciated that it wasn't like a feminist movie, even though it was about a woman. You know,
Yeah.
the main character was a woman, and but she's cool because she like is respectful of Miyagi. You know, instead of like
I think
'cause
they
definitely could have gone a different way with it, and I think there was a good story.
I don't know, Arya, because Arya, you had the karate background. I don't know if it felt like they paid attention a lot more to like actual karate detail in that one than they did the first three.
Really?
Like they give a little bit more.
I don't know. I haven't seen the next Karate Kid.
If you watch the next Karate Kid, it looks like they kind of like I don't know. I feel like franchises like that deal with like a certain culture or a certain type of practice that went to because popular. They're like, all right, like because they get enough like people talk about it and they get to meet people that actually do it. So they're like, all right, let's be more true to the practice now.
I remember going to Blockbuster when I was a kid and we saw the next Karate Kid on the shelf and my dad went, nah, that one's for girls.
We rented it on Blockbuster because it was like the only
girls can't do karate, Arya.
It was the only one that was left.
I'm not gonna watch that movie.
You know, how, like you have to search behind like the empty case to see if it's there. It was the only one that was left out of all the new releases, so we rented it.
Yeah, I remember scanning past it.
I was like, "Yo, where's Danielson? What is this?"
No, I thought it was a good movie.
Has Hilary Swank turned up in the series yet?
No, but I think she will in the next season.
Oh, that'd be good.
As will Terry Silver. That's confirmed.
How is he?
Terry Silver is going to be the next.
He's going to be in it. All right, so let's get to the bottom of this. Is this a legal move?
Finish him!
I think what's illegal about it is Johnny headbutting his foot.
Yeah, you can't headbutt the
again. He runs in and goes and just headbutts his foot.
He was going for a takedown.
The actor was overzealous because he knew that there had to make contact with the foot to his head. So the actor was like, "All right, I got this." So what's the controversy about that move? You're not allowed to strike the head, or you are?
I don't know, right? Because I mean, a kick's a kick, right?
Right.
If you land it, you land it. The only difference is he's got his arms up like this, looking like a.
I always thought that the controversy about that wasn't necessarily that specific kick. It was leading up to that kick. Johnny had already scored shitloads of points, and Daniel had none. Then he kicks him in the face once and wins.
Oh, was it? I don't remember what the reason was. Was it like an eliminator at Defiant?
Don't know.
No, I don't think so, Max. I think they were tied.
Really make that much sense.
I think they were tied 2-2.
Okay.
Yeah, because
when he hits his head, when he scissor sweeps him and hits his head, that was a point to him, and I think he scored another point at another time.
That wasn't Johnny, though, was it? Was that Johnny?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
I don't know how the point systems are scored. Is it like a strike? Is it like in fencing? If like a strike is like a point and then it stops there and then you reset?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so it's like fencing.
Yeah, but it's like punch is like 1, kick to the body's 2, kick the head 3, something like that. Like everyone has their own scoring systems, right?
I'm almost sure that it was 2-2 going into that final encounter.
Fair enough.
But it's like that is super kung fu, right? It's not like karate.
It's not really karate.
Yeah, none of the shit that he teaches Danielson is karate, really.
That's what
everyone calls it the crane kick, right? And that's like crane style kung fu. It's
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
thing, isn't it?
I don't know. It's, anytime I think of
it's a
karate,
switch kick. It's a
Yeah.
I always thought karate was like more like I mean, obviously there's like punches and kicks, but like when I think of karate, and I've fought against guys that have karate backgrounds, and like I've kind of adopted a little bit of the karate stance, like myself, is like kind of that like side, very side kind of stance. It's not as square as it is in boxing.
It can be effective, man, if you know.
Yeah, I've always thought of it as like keeping distance type of freaking fighting. Like the kicks are super effective. Most people that like kick me aren't actually the Muay Thai guys. It's actually the karate dudes because they're able to control their kicks. That's what I think of when I think of karate. I don't really think of like that's like kung fu to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's always been my experience with karate. That's why when I saw the Karate Kid, I never thought of it as an actual karate movie. I thought of it as like kind of like the kung fu craze was going on. So like karate is the most popular.
Well, karate
it's the most popular.
Like the generalization name for any sort of martial art in a film.
Everybody says karate.
When you see Johnny training, they're doing karate.
Yeah,
but nothing
strikes,
that Danielson does is karate. Yeah.
Well, what Daniel does was housework. Actually.
Yeah. But even the blocks, like that's not.
That's like more kung fu.
You don't block like that.
Yeah,
that's like that in karate.
What's his name? What's the guy? They made a bunch of movies of It Man. Like it's like Wing Chun.
IP Man. Yeah.
Like
those are kind of like small distance blocks. Yeah.
It's definitely like a form of kung fu.
Ari, I wanted to ask you as well. What about those sleeveless gis, a la Street Fighter?
I love them. I'm down with it.
Yeah, I don't know, but they're cool, right?
Is that karate regulation?
Definitely not, but they're very cool.
They look
they are
cool,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just cut your take the one that they give you and just cut the arms off and just
don't even cut them, just rip them. So you get
yeah. Just dye it red.
Yeah, you know what?
Well, I think black looks better than red.
Dude, if I had one of those, I'd do exactly what Max is doing. It's like that.
You just walk through the kitchen like that, and you'd send invisible Hadoukens everywhere.
Hey, Max, I think that's why a lot of people that fight in the street do that. They're like, I'm like, where does that come from? Like, where did they get that from? Like
it's because it's some fucking Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, isn't it? They're watching
and what's really when you see even in MMA, like those lower organizations, like what is that called? PFL or whatever. You see them and they've got the fighter profiles and they're like going like this.
yeah. It is, man. You're right. That's like it's life imitating art, imitating life, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's coming straight from like a Mortal Kombat
video games.
Crazy.
Is it PFL or is it one that does that? I think it is PFL that does that.
I'm pretty sure it's PFL.
Yeah. That's brilliant. If only they did like special moves as well. Fucking fighter, isn't it?
Introduce weapons.
Yeah.
Dude, that's coming next.
Comes out with
that's
next. Fucking babalities at the end of it.
The only thing that could beat MMA right now in ratings is going to be like real life gladiator stuff.
Well,
Are you not entertained?
I used to do the SCA heavy weapons fighting, and that's basically what it is because you're allowed to even grapple in there. So you can grab the guy's shield, grab the guy's helmet, and stab them as you're doing it. You know,
that sounds so cool.
That's a lot of fun.
Well, so that's more interesting than fucking the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
I got my helmet and my breastplate somewhere. If I ever move back to the States, I'll pick it up again.
Hey, Aria, what do you think? I don't know if we're going too far ahead, but what do you think about the Netflix series Karate, like the Karate the kids are doing in there?
It's the big problem I have with the Cobra Kai show is that they use actual kids to play the kids, and it just looks silly to me when they're doing backflips and kicking each other off like stairwells. And
that's the other thing as well, right? Where's all the backflip shit coming from?
Yeah,
that's got nothing
gymnastics.
To do with karate.
Their parents put them in gymnastics, thinking that was going to be like their thing, And they're like, nah, I need to defend myself. And now
But,
they're just
like,
incorporating the two like naturally because that's what kids
I've
do.
only seen there'd be a way. It's one of the biggest problems I have with that show is that the fighting is cheesy as tits, right? And like, there would be a way of doing it, like just bring up the realism a bit more, and have two kids kicking the shit out of each other.
You know what's funny?
Instead of all this,
Yeah,
like,
I think what's
only
funny is like
exaggerated. It's too.
It's overdone. It's like
too
exaggerated. Yeah, campy is the right word.
And they're like kicking each other, and the flight, like, nah, man, like bring it. I'd say the films had it a little better than that, in that, you know, that no one's doing these crazy somersaults or anything, except probably Mr. Miyagi's doing the craziest stuff.
I think what's crazy is, yeah, my bad.
That's okay.
I think what's crazy is that, like you said, the whole like more realistic, less campy. Like the only time we ever see that in the Netflix series is when Johnny and Danielson fight. It's like,
and that's because they're 40-year-old.
Yeah, I
and
quite
it actually
like
looks
watching those two fight.
it actually looks great. I'm like, they're like probably some of the best fight scenes in the Netflix series. You're like,
Yeah,
right,
and that's
cool.
what you want for all of it. Like,
Did you
just
guys
give it
see
a bit
the
more grit?
Did you guys see the How I Met Your Mother episode with Johnny Lawrence and Danny LaRusso?
No,
I
there's
that
an
don't know
episode?
about that.
That was the first Karate Kid reunion before Cobra Kai. They,
Oh, really?
Wow.
Neil Patrick Harris's character is always talking about how Johnny Lawrence was the real Karate Kid and how Danny was the like intruder and the bad guy in the movie.
Yeah, that's what
And
Max
then-
was saying before.
Yeah, they trick him on his birthday. They say they're gonna bring the Karate Kid to his birthday party, and it's Danny, and then he's really pissed off because he's like, no one ever listens to me. But then there's also a clown there, and the clown takes his makeup off, and he's like, show no mercy, and it's Johnny Lawrence.
That's amazing.
Fantastic.
That's really funny. I gotta watch that. That sounds like
Pretty
and
cool.
he's pretty good. The guy that plays Johnny, he plays like a good burnout. Like,
Oh, he's
yeah, he
brilliant.
does. Yeah,
Yeah, he
I
does.
believe him. Yeah,
I
I
think
believe him that he
yeah.
doesn't really know how to use his email. You know.
I love that show because of him. It's like hilarious.
He's got a dad buddy, and it works for that character.
yeah.
Put it up in the internet. Hash brown it.
Also, he likes the same music as me. When he gets into his car and he starts playing rap, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Me
He
too,
does.
dude. Absolutely.
So where are we now? Where is the series now then? Because I haven't seen all of them. Where's it left off?
They've kind of made friends, and they've kind of joined their dojos, and they lost the property where the Cobra Kai facility actually was.
Yeah,
They
it
lost
wants
it
to
to the
crease
real
now.
bad guy, so they have to. So they made a bet, yeah, that if they win the All Valley tournament, that he's got to leave forever.
I like these like dojo war style storylines.
I do too.
I like him.
Oh yeah,
I
I'll
do
just
too.
give up my $multi-thousand lease over.
Yeah. At
Good
the
story.
end, one of them should just go, no. Just gonna
We have
carry
to
on.
fight him out.
Do you think I was like going to give you my fucking business? It's just only 15 years, mate.
I think that the most interesting thing about the show for me is the kid, Johnny's son, and the whole issue of like Diego is the other guy's name, right?
Yeah.
Like Johnny have training Diego and teaching him to stand up for himself, but then like the son, his actual biological son, being kind of estranged, and the two of them being rivals with each other and kind of competing for Johnny's fatherly affection. That whole drama to me is like Shakespearean. It's
that's
very very interesting and very
Yeah, I think it's
compelling.
dope.
Those parts are the best parts about the series.
Right.
It's not really the karate. It's the
I don't know
Yeah.
enough about karate to feel offended by it. But what bothers me
Hey, look.
about the show, what does bother me is that they are always showing how karate is superior to submission grappling, and they always put
Really?
chokeholds on them, and they always escape the chokeholds, and it's wrong. Everything about it
That's
is
funny
wrong.
though, because that is the mindset of the 80s, right?
Right. What's
The whole
up,
my
Russ?
style is better than your style thing.
Exactly.
sure.
And they're not doing the chokes right, and they're not escaping from the chokes right either. And it's annoying, but
How's it
whatever.
going, Wes? We've got an actual karate black belt on the show.
Hey, Russ.
Hey.
What do you think of the Karate Kid, Russ?
Yes,
Yes,
Take the
Ag.
knee. That's the only thing that's realistic about the whole thing is taking the knee. There you go.
Thank you.
If I was in trouble, the first thing I'd do is take someone's knees out or their eyes or their throat. I wouldn't mess about. I'm too old to have a long fight.
So this is
the best, and I'm not really good at running away. So the best thing you can do is disarm them as quickly as possible and then get out of there.
That would make a completely
go.
different film, though, wouldn't
Oh, you would
Yeah, it would.
challenge them to a tournament.
Just thumb in the
it?
eye.
Daniel's
I'm
son
off.
just ripped Johnny's eyes out.
That'd be like a Statham. Was it Jason? It'd be like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
transporter film where he just like beats the crap out of somebody, just takes off on like a bike or something with wheels. Anything with wheels, he just beats them up and takes off.
Well, do you
you
mean
later.
that karate isn't effective for self-defense?
It can be as long as it's used properly. I mean, nobody wanders around in a proper stance. Are you looking at my beer? Hold on a minute. I'm ready.
Oh.
It's not the way it works. but it's really good to have experience in different martial arts, try different things, and don't take it too literally. But the point is that when you train every day to fight, then you're going to be a little bit better at it. It's like if I go down the road and I play snooker every day or pool every day, after a few years, I'm probably going to be reasonably proficient at it. And it's the same with martial arts. If you go and train every week, you don't have to fight every week, but you're training your body to produce movements that are helpful when fighting. Okay, let's call it that. Then the whole thing, you're going to be moved towards a point where you're probably a little bit handier than someone who can't. But it doesn't make you a super person. It just makes you maybe a little bit more able to defend yourself, which is a good thing. I mean, you don't want to mess with people with knives if you can possibly help it. And you certainly don't want to mess with people with guns. You just want to run in the other direction. That's the best thing to do. But what it does do is give you some confidence that you can handle yourself if you need to. And actually, since I've been involved with martial arts, which has been a long time now, I've never had a street fight. I've never been involved in a street fight. And even in the altercations that I've had verbally, they've all ended very gently. So, it's about confidence, I think.
Right. Confidence and proficiency with movements, which sets up my next question, which I want to lead into by showing this scene really quickly, if you'll indulge me.
Damn it! Can't believe this.
So, something that I really enjoyed about the movie was the unorthodox training style of incorporating muscle memory acquisition into these chores, waxing the car and painting the fence in order to acquire the proper muscle memories to block and do these moves. My question's twofold. First of all, aren't those more kung fu style techniques than karate? And second of all, is any kind of menial repetition really going to help you in a combat situation, or perhaps not?
I think on a very basic level, if you're someone who works in a building site as against someone who works in a bank, you're probably going to be stronger. That's pretty simple. It's very, very basic, simply because you physically use your body all the time. Whether your bricklaying is in some way going to help you produce a technique that will lay someone out, I don't think that's the case at all.
I don't know,
This
man. I know
movement
some
here-
fucking fat bricklayers.
Yeah, you're going to be able to beat them in a race, but you probably don't want to get punched by them. This movement here, there is some of that in karate. Yeah, that and down using the palm of the hand and the base of the hand. This movement here, you use that in a knife hand block or a knife hand to the neck. But whether doing that with a paintbrush or with some kind of rag or constantly, I don't know. I mean, we do a lot of press ups. The reason for doing press ups, you do them on your knuckles, is that when you extend your hand, you're using your triceps in the back of your arm. When you hit someone straight, like that, all the strength is in the back of the arm. It's not in your bicep. You don't pull weights to go and do karate. If you're doing sport karate and you're on the mat a lot, then yeah, you'd go do some weights because you're going to be very fit. You're going to be athletic. But for traditional karate, it's all about movement. It's not necessarily about pushing weights around and having big muscles. It's about training the muscles again and again and again. And that's what repetition is. It's what you do. Even when you're a black belt, you'll do the same things as a white belt. You'll just do more of it.
You're right.
I think that bit's more designed for the movie, right? It just makes a cool training montage.
So.
Yeah, it's the Shaolin carrying buckets up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it makes for this. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just about to say all martial arts end up, siphoning into a point because there's only so many things you can do with your body. So there's only so many, ways that you can move your limbs. Obviously, some people are better at it than others. Some people are more naturally gifted as far as their ability to stretch their hips and all that kind of stuff. And then what you do that leads into the martial art actually shapes you up until and including your first sort of downgrade. After that, you start shaping the martial art to what you want because you understand the basics and you can make it work for you. And that's why pretty much everybody that does any kind of martial art, once they get up into the high end of it, it's their martial art. It becomes unique to them.
Dang, that was beautifully said right there. I like the it's weird that because you mentioned about like the movements and just like dabbling in other martial arts. Because like when it comes to karate, like I really like the kicks in karate, the way they're done, and I have like a Muay Thai background, and I've learned to use a lot of the karate stance just because it's good for certain like applications, right? A kick is a kick, like we were saying earlier, but a karate kick is a whole lot different from a Muay Thai kick. The Muay Thai kick can put you in a lot of danger half the time because of the way the stance is and everything. Well, a karate kick is requires more balance, more deliberate strike, and a lot more flexibility. So, like you said, I kept practicing the karate kick so I can get that flexibility because sometimes that like little edge is going to be enough for me to get in and out versus a Muay Thai kick where I'm throwing everything in and then I'm
you're all in. A Muay Thai kick, you're all the way in. It's a younger man's game. There's no doubt about that. I wouldn't want to mess with Muay Thai now. At my age, I'd much rather take on a karate fight. But yeah, it's like you all the power. Not to say there's no technique. There's masses of technique in Muay Thai. It's just a different way of applying yourself. So yeah, you got that. You nailed that. Yeah, but it is good to try and even if you don't get to practice everything because you can't. There's just too much of it. At least take it in. And understand how the different arts move in slightly different ways. But like I say, at the end of it, it all comes to a funnel point where you've made the martial art your own, and if you understand what you're doing, you play to your strengths. So I've got to an age now where I can kick Joe down, I can kick head height for half the year. And then the other half of the year it's too cold and damp, and my hips ain't going to do it. But you use what you got, and you use it appropriately. Down the club, no one would want to take a side kick off me in the winter months, whether it was up at the head height or at the gut height. The Judan, they ain't going to want to know. So you've got to focus on what works for you. Once you've put yourself through the discipline of the lower grades, like the Q grades in karate, for instance, up to black belt, you get the basics right. You understand how your body should work, using your hips correctly, getting your balance right, understanding what the moves are for. So bunkai, which is the application of what you do, understanding why you do something in a kata rather than just doing it parrot fashion, and understanding the techniques. Then after that, you can start maneuvering them and developing them so that it's right for your body type and for the way that you apply yourself.
Could you tell us more about katas, Russ? Because I from the outside looking in, I don't understand them. For context, I'm more of a grappler, so everything that I do is like very centered pragmatically on how it finishes my opponent. So I don't understand because you just mentioned that doing a kata because you know why you do the movement. So what is the purpose of katas?
Kata is the preparation for you to be able to fight. So effectively, it puts into effect the basics that you do. So if you march up and down a dojo doing basics like blocks of particular kinds or strikes of particular kinds or kicks, and then you combine those into combination techniques within kata, and then kata, whichever you want to call it. And the idea being you put them into these combinations with the purpose of having multiple attackers. And so each combination has a purpose as far as who you think is attacking you from what position. Now, when you start off with bunkai, a lot of the time it's rigid. So it'd be the person in front, person to the left, person behind. So you do one, you block in front, you block inside. You're going down, making sure that you're evading a strike. Okay, you might go into this next move where you're blocking this one, evading the one in front, and then moving on to the guy to the left of you. But as you move up, you would develop further techniques within the bunkai. So I was under a 10th Dan, okay, and he would take us for bunkai, right, and he'd say, okay, we'll start off with a standard bunkai. He said, now, what if somebody throws this punch? What if somebody throws that attack? What if? So that you can develop your understanding of maybe where things come from. The idea being, and this is the whole point of repetition, you're constantly drilling yourself so that if you do need it, you've got something in the locker that automatically turns up. You don't have to think about responding. It's just there.
Like this.
Show me paint the house. Say. Knock wrist. Side. Yes. Show me wax on, wax off. That! Show me paint the fence. Face! That! Show me side to side.
So if I've
without the shouting.
Without the shout. But if I've understood you, what you said kind of goes along with that scene because your body is accustomed to moving in that way. So in the moment, in the situation, in the circumstance when you need it, your reaction time is much quicker.
Yeah, repetition is the mother of perfection.
Yeah.
And you just keep doing it. So you know every class we start the same. We'll start with a loadable block and do punching, and we'll go back and forth, and then we'll do blocks back and forth, and then we'll do kicks back and forth.
So you're sort of simulating, situations that might arise.
Yeah, and then but obviously it's important to put those into action. So that's why you would do it in bunkai, and proper bunkai would be done where if you didn't block properly, you get hit in the face. Okay, it's done properly. It's not just, I'll hit over there and I'll put my hand up. You have to do it properly. And then on top of that, when you spar, okay, you don't have to spar full contact all the time. A lot of the time what happens, certainly in the clubs I've been involved with, you spar in a relaxed way, and depending on who you're sparring with, you turn the pressure up. So if you get another, black belt come and spar with you, then the two of you can hit each other a bit. You don't necessarily want to give each other bloody noses, but you turn up the dial, as it were, and that's how you work it. But you're always learning. You even learn from very low grades that turn up, because often they're far more dangerous because they keep throwing stuff at you and you can't just end the fight. Okay, so if you're fighting a black belt, okay, and somebody gets something in, they'll go, all right, fair enough, you got one in there, let's carry on, and you acknowledge that someone's has beaten you there. But with lower grades, they just keep throwing stuff at you and they'll kick you and punch you. They don't know what they're doing all over the place. And of course, you can't just say, I'm just going to take this guy's knees out. I've had enough of this. You can't do that. It's not fair. So you end up getting more injuries from lower grades than you do from higher grades most of the time.
I understand. And so the controversy about centering around the Cobra Kai show is the dispute of whether the crane kick that Daniel used to score the winning point was a legal move or not. Can you shed some light on that, Russ?
I have never seen that movie apart from in the Karate Kid, so I couldn't tell you. It is a little bit similar to a jumping front kick. So when you do a jumping front kick,
Yeah, I'll show you.
Finish him!
Yeah, isn't it just a scissor kick, except your
Yeah.
knees already in the air and your arms
The
twatting?
question is, would they ding you for the stance? Because it's not coming
no,
from
I
the
mean
crowd.
if you did that and you were in a karate competition and you stood there and did that and somebody came on and you thwacked them one, they'd avoid the point and that would be it.
They'd
There'd be
void the point?
they would award the point. Sorry, they would award the
Oh.
point and that would be it, because you got that was it kicked to Jodan, got him, no problem. It there might be a how hard do you want people to be hit? You should be hitting with control. So you shouldn't be taking people's heads off, because you should be able to know how hard you can hit. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with what he was doing, as far as he wouldn't get disqualified for it. Not as far as I'm aware, anyway. He might get laughed at until, of course, he knocked the other guy out. Then he wouldn't get laughed at anymore.
That fight that the official said in there, is that the same one from the Street Fighter video game?
What?
Did you hear it? It almost sounded like the same exact sound, like fight. Like it sounded exactly like it. I was like, wait a second.
They should have as well.
I'm pretty sure.
This one, Del?
No, not that one. The one in the tournament where he does the crane kick. He's like, fight. Sounds just like it. I don't know.
Anything to do with crane would probably be Chinese anyway, rather than Japanese, I think. So it wouldn't necessarily be karate. I suppose it might be Korean, but
I think part of the lore
thing I've not seen that before. Like I say, it's very similar to a jumping front kick.
Right.
But the only way you'd get real purchase is by, instead of having the knee already up in the air, you would lift the knee up so that you could get up and jump higher. So
Well, I think some of the in-universe lore, at least in the Cobra Kai show, is that Miyagi's ancestor went to China, so had kind of combined Chinese with Japanese.
it's where Okinawan
technique.
karate. It's where karate comes from. It comes from Chinese boxing. That's
Okay.
that's its core. Yeah.
What's up, Big Buddha?
Hey, I don't think I realised for about 30 seconds I was on the show.
Surprise!
How you all doing?
I'm doing well. What's your
What are we
take?
talking about?
We're talking about karate and the legality of crane kicks and the effectiveness of painting houses to learn how to block punches. So if you have anything to say about that.
I liked how they dealt with it in Cobra Kai. They acknowledged that it was an illegal move. Daniel Russo.
They actually say that in Cobra Kai.
Yeah, but it's because they try and repaint Johnny as the hero, or
well, he is the hero.
Yeah, according to some. So,
go on, carry on.
Well, according to How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
See?
Yeah, you're right. I've got to see that.
Yeah, it's a good episode. It's funny.
So,
another
just
thing
because
I'm
it was
really
on How I Met Your Mother doesn't mean it's wrong.
Doesn't mean it's wrong. Yeah. I like this a lot.
I'll be back in a sec.
That was pretty cool.
Do you do that every morning when you start?
Yeah. Every morning, get up and chop some ice up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have to. If you can't break 5 ice every morning, you have to hand your black belt back. Then you
have to get it back.
Yeah. Drop down a belt.
Exactly.
Do you know what I really hated though? Did you get a clip of the finishing move from episode 2 where he's doing this at the end because of the drums, right? You'd think after the first one or two, the bad guy would have realized, oh, there's a punch coming this way or this way. Maybe
right. Well, I think think the idea is that it gets a sort of hypnotic rhythm that you can't escape, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It's not as good as the crane kick.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I like in that scene when this happens.
Live or die, man. Die. Wrong.
I really appreciated the sound effect that they put in.
I like
That's really cool.
I like when they revisit that in the Netflix series.
Yeah.
Except like LaRusso's like a little bit. He's like, no, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's like, just kidding. I ain't gonna kill you.
Yeah, he's
Like the
like,
way he's
don't
holding
hurt
his
me,
hand.
man.
Yeah.
I
the
don't
tiger
quite
paw.
get. What are you going to do with that?
I don't know. You
they
mean you
flip it
can't
in the
kill
series?
someone by hitting them like that? With a
That's
paw?
tiger.
Well, I mean, if you
Is that a kung fu?
if you
thing?
pushed up,
It is.
like this with the base of the hand up into the nose here, straight up, that'll kill someone outright.
I find that hard to believe.
That's something I hear a lot that doesn't really float with MMA guys. The whole breaking the nose.
Depends how you do it.
For that to work, you've got to that means that your cartilage, because your actual nose your nose is there, right, and all this is cartilage.
Yeah.
So the cartilage has got to push the bone into your brain, which I think is impossible. Unless you hit them so fucking hard.
Yeah, I think there's an amount of. I think there's an amount of pressure there. You're not ramming the cartilage up into the brain. You're simply just pushing everything up, and it's the energy of the strike straight up. I mean, you'd have to hit someone really hard.
But assuming there's no cartilage, what's the killing?
Well, you're thinking that something's going to go up there and like you're thinking there's like some kind of bone or something that's going to go straight up into someone's brain. That's not the way it works.
It would have to
I'd like to understand how it works.
It's the same way. It's the same way when you get knocked out. It's because your brain has been clattered around inside your head. That's why you get knocked out. You don't get knocked out because somebody has hit your brain. You get knocked out because of the shock and the fact that it's flapping around inside the moisture. You go straight up.
I think what knocks you out is the momentary disconnection of neurons because of the strike to the jaw or chin interrupts the flow of neurons to the brain.
I mean, if you catch someone in the right place.
I took a shot on the chin and like it hasn't knocked me out, but it's just made my hand go like I've been trying to throw an overarm and I've walked straight into the cross. And snapped my head back so hard that like my hand's done. It hasn't knocked me out, but like I practically had like a fit standing up.
There's two things going on. There's your brain hitting the inside of the cavity, and the shock that induces. There's also these arteries here that if you block them up, which is what you do with a chokehold, like it just instantly blacks someone out.
Yeah,
well, not instantly, but it's about 10 or 15 seconds if you hold the right chokehold.
Yeah,
they'll go, but that is loss of blood. That's loss of things going backwards and forwards, bodily functions, as it were.
Hey, I gotta go now, guys. So,
okay, Aria.
Do you mind if I show you this video and then I'll?
Yeah, please do.
Okay,
Jim, mute yourself, mate.
Sorry.
It's all right, dude.
What's up, motherfuckers? It's the last week of Black Pumpkin Spice Taylor, CG's first sender.
Oh.
Yo, what are you waiting for? Head on over
I can't look.
Search for the Adventures of Taylor's in outer space. Back yourself a Pumpkin Spice Taylor's today. Peace out, motherfuckers.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Okay,
eyes, man.
I'm gonna go now. Remember, show no mercy. I'll see you later.
Take it easy, man.
Laters.
I'll see you again.
No mercy.
Good old Aria.
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir. See, what I would have done if I were Danny LaRusso is I would have just trained at that dojo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He comes in and he sees the bully and he's like, "Oh, I can't train here because the bully's here." No, dude. If you start doing karate and showing up and being part of that team, guess what? Suddenly you're not enemies anymore. Now you're teammates. Now you're friends. Problem solved.
Everything Daniel LaRusso does is the pussy's way out. That's why he doesn't want to train with him because he's scared. So he goes and does it on his own. Like he does the wrong thing all the time. Like probably going to train there he would have ended up mates with them.
They would have ended up mates, exactly. But of course, then there's no movie. But
yeah, but he still did it wrong.
There's also a roller coaster of like whether he's afraid of him or not, because there's times where he gets like all brave and stuff, and he's just like, "Why I oughta," kind of like, you know what I mean? Like the scene where like they jack up his tree. He's acting all like, you know what I mean? He's all like, "Fine, I'll show him. I'll sign the." You know, and then there's the part 2 with like he's on a date with the girl, and he's like, "Man, get out of here! Come on, guys. You know I'm retired." I don't want to. And then he's like fighting him. He's getting his butt kicked, and then like as the dude runs out, he's like, "Like you're still ready to fight." Like especially after they kick his girl. Like dude kicks his girl, and he's just like, "What?" Like, dude. And then he shows up to the gym, and he's like scared of it. Like I don't know. And then
there's a scene in the first one where the lads that he's having issues with, they get told that they can't touch him, and then because he knows that, he starts fucking with them loads.
Exactly.
This dude's a pussy.
I don't like him.
I
don't like him, and I don't like how frivolous he is with his relationships. He's just like has one argument with Ali. Okay, she's out of my life forever, and then he goes and seduces this poor young woman in Okinawa, and then goes back to California and never sees her again. Her life's ruined.
He sees her in the Netflix series. And
yeah. But she's
even
like
tries to flirt with her too.
She's like 50. She's like 50 years old and ruined, and nobody wants to marry her. Like, thanks a lot, Danny.
He acted like he was still trying to holler, and like I was like, "What is there something going on here?"
It would have been good if she turned up with his like illegitimate kid.
Oh yeah, that would make a much better story.
Yeah.
And then he's got to train him, you know.
Yeah,
it's like Daniel, your illegitimate son is causing trouble in Okinawa. Yeah. He's angry because he never knew his dad. He won't listen to anybody.
Sounded more and more like an episode of Family Guy.
That would have been a way better story, I think.
Yeah.
Right into Netflix.
And then Daniel's. Oh, but Daniel's actual son in the show isn't even cool or tough or anything.
Oh yeah, he's like on the iPad all the time.
He's like fat and stuff. Let's see what other.
Eight.
Is he saying 8? I don't know what he's
also
saying.
There's also like another thing too, like an issue I have, like not issue. It's just I guess the way like the '80s like had their acting and stuff is like the menacing factor, right? Like you bring in the new big baddie Terry Silver, and like I just like recently watched it while I was watching Cobra Kai because I maybe watched the third part like twice.
Yeah.
And so I recently watched one when I was a kid, and then the second time I watched it was while Cobra Kai because I really didn't remember. I had like my memories kind of mixed between 2 and 3, and so when I was watching 3, the tournament, the end where he faces Barnes, right? It's like the cheesiness of like Terry Silver's presence at that tournament was pretty like unsettling, agitating, and annoying. Like he's like, "Yes, I like it when he strikes hard."
Yeah.
and it looks
When
like,
he shows
dude,
no mercy.
yeah, no. And then there's a part where he's just kind of like they have these cut scenes, and I think it's just poor editing where he's like saying stuff, and then people get in his face like, "Yeah, Johnny, get up!" and they're just like screaming, like Johnny's like,
Get him a body bag.
I would really like to see.
it's just like different people get in his face, and then Terry Silver. There's a scene where I started like realizing I was like, dude, can we just get Kreese back? Like when I saw Kreese there, it looked like Kreese was like even annoyed too. As he wasn't. It's just like the acting. He has to like, all right, guys, Johnny just got. LaRusso just got hit. You guys are shaking your head like, yeah. And so they're like, but he's like,
strikes me as a huge cokehead. Like
I feel like Kreese is like, dude, I wish you
like
weren't
he's
here
on
right now, dude. Like
cocaine all
let
the
me
time.
let me handle my dojo.
I really
just
want
think-
to see.
I just think because a lot of
prequel
people
him
are
and his brother being brought up by like a dickhead dad.
well, everybody's like so pumped up about Terry Silver in this for the upcoming season. They're like, oh, he's back. He's so bad. I'm like, dude, I actually did not like his character at all. The only part I really like about him is when he goes against Miyagi. He's like, whoa. That's my favorite part.
Oh, I love him. I think he's brilliant all the way through. Like he's clearly like just lying to him all the time. Like it's obvious that he's lying to him all the time.
There's another scene that's kind of weird too.
It's so
Daniel,
slimy.
to get good at karate, you've got to punch things that are gonna hurt you and make your hands bleed.
What was
Believe me. And Danny's just like, well, if you say so. He just does it. Like you get good at
He's
karate,
just hitting a guy like that at chair legs.
You've got to hit yourself in the head with a hammer, and he's like, well, if this is what I have to do, then I guess I'm gonna do it.
There's a weird part in there too where like they're beating up Daniel, and he like runs outside, and they send Barnes to go get him, and like Terry Silver's character's like, yeah, would you like that? Would you like some more? And he's like holding like Kreese like this, and Kreese is like, yeah, I want some more. Like it's weird. Like,
It sounds fucking hilarious.
Dude, find that scene, dude. It's very awkward, dude. Like, and I don't remember it being like that when I was a kid. Like in my head, I'm like, man, there's two bad guys that don't like him. Whoa.
Next time you have like the really specific scenes that you want, let me know ahead of time, and I'll make sure I prepare them.
It's the scene where Miyagi fights because Barnes goes after Daniel. He runs out of the dojo, and then like they're like waiting for, they're like, go get him. So like Barnes goes to get Danny, but then like Barnes ends up flying back through into the dojo because Miyagi throws him back into the dojo, and that's when Miyagi shows up.
You want the scene where he gets thrown into the dojo? Is that the one?
Yeah, if you search Miyagi fights Silver and Kreese, it's the scene leading up to that.
Is that when he puts his hand through all the windows, through the car windows, or is that the one?
No, that was in the second movie.
No, yeah, it's the second movie. This is a part where they're beating up on like Daniel goes to run out of the dojo, and Kreese hops out from behind the freaking. He's like, ah!
Yeah. And he's just like manically laughing at him when he leaves, even though he's covered in paint.
Yeah, and then they send Barnes after. They're like, you want some more? He's like, yeah, I want some more. Barnes goes after him, and then they just throw him back into the.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What am I talking about?
Yeah, what?
Let's show him what I'm talking about.
Should I fast forward? What do you?
Yeah, fast forward. It's when he tries to run out. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Right here.
It's about.
Just show Mr. Kreese how he's gonna get his business back.
Yeah, this is it.
Just go back a bit.
Stand there, let him kick
Go
your
back?
ass.
Yeah, because he jumps out on him.
Oh yeah, when he jumps out from behind
Let's show Mr. Kreese how he's gonna get his business back.
Hey, I'm not gonna fight. You can't make me fight.
You don't have to. You can just stand there and let him kick your ass.
Yeah.
Do the crane, Danny boy.
You're doing this to yourself, man.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. You want to see some more? I want to see a lot more. Bring him back.
Right there.
I
want to see a lot more.
I want to see a lot more.
He's like,
it's so homoerotic.
Well, I don't know, dude.
Oh dear.
It's just
mate, he was about a gnat's pube away from just like kissing his neck.
See a
lot more.
Just a shoulder rub.
Yeah, but it was. I think he should have like did the shoulder rub, and he should have just like after he broke said, "I want to see a lot more." Turn around and say that instead of.
He's like, "Yeah, I want to see a lot more." Yeah, that's so fun.
Then they just walk off hand in hand around the back.
It'd be really funny if they did it. If they did it that way the first time, and then the director was like, "No,
Yeah,
go back, don't let go. When you grab his shoulders, hold him a little bit longer."
I want to see a lot more.
You just
That
look
is
back
a
at him,
funny
arch your back, and say, "I want to see a lot more."
Arch more. Arch more.
More arch. We need some more arch.
Lean into him.
I got a
Get closer
fever.
together.
The only remedy is some more arch.
Yeah. When you say a lot more, I want you to start twerking.
Oh man.
All right. There's only one more scene I want to show, which is probably the most fun scene.
How about a front kick, Johnny? Get him out. Hey, leave him alone, man. He's had enough. Shut up, Bobby. Look at his guts. He can't even stand up. So what? That don't mean squat. Johnny, leave him alone, man. He's had enough. On the side when he's had enough, man. What is wrong with you, Johnny? The enemy deserves no mercy. Right. You're crazy, man. Yeah. Johnny, Bobby, get him. Yeah.
Shock.
Mr. Miyagi
especially
kicks
cool
ass, bro.
Is that they're all dressed like skeletons, so they look like bad guys from like a Power Rangers movie or something. You know,
Like
so they're all
bunnies.
like dressed like bad
Them
guys.
skeleton costumes are cool, man.
I know.
And I like
Dude.
the way Mr. Miyagi turns into Spawn at the when he's just climbing up the fence.
He's crawling up the fence. Yeah. The only thing missing was like chains coming out of his body.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
I like how in this movie there's at least that one guy that's like trying to stop the fight. Come on, Johnny's had enough. Like
He's
in
had
the third part, like the dude's just of a douchebag. He's like I think freaking Barnes gets what he wants. I think they're going to get Miyagi's tree that he he planted on some cliff, and they're like pulling him and his girlfriend back up, and they won't pull him back up the cliff until because they grappled down there until Johnny signs the papers. So that's what Barnes wants. So he's like, "Here, man." He's like, "Give me the paper first." So he gives them the paper while they're still holding on to Daniel and his girl, and then. Like he's like, all right, bring him up. And the guy's like, nah, I want the tree. Like his friend.
Yeah. He snaps the tree.
It's like, bro, like at least Johnny had some good friends, dude. Barnes had no friends, like no real friends, dude. Which is pretty cool. Like, I want to say something about that actor too that was telling Johnny that, like, hey man, don't do it, whatever. Yeah. In like the series, he's the one that gets cancer.
Yeah.
And he's also the one in the first tournament that tells Johnny to put him in a body bag.
Put him in a body bag.
Put him in a body, and the way that scene ends in the Netflix series, as they're older, he gets wrapped in a body bag. That's that's how the scene ends. 3 days later, that guy actually dies. The actual actor.
Shit.
Ooh, that's horrible.
Of cancer.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I didn't actually look into that, but I just know he died. Like after I watched that episode, the release of that episode, I saw like the news. I was like, oh snap! Like I didn't know that guy passed.
Horrible.
But yeah, I think it's like pretty cool how they came full circle with that. The whole they paid attention to like which character was always like trying to tell Johnny like, dude, like, stop being a douchebag, man. You're the good guy. You're the good one in this series. You're not the bad guy.
They really did a lot of work pouring through every detail in those movies to bring them to life and to make the characters more realistic and more authentic. I mean, I really appreciate the work they've done in that show.
It's fan service done correctly, right?
Right.
They make it part of, they make those sorts of things matter as opposed to just being titillating bullshit.
Yeah, and they're not all the same, you know, because there's all his gang of Cobra Kais, and they don't all just have the same personality, which I appreciate. Unlike, you know, bad guys from other franchises that are all just clones of each other, you know.
Right, I'm gonna have to go, guys.
Russ, thanks a lot for coming on.
Yeah,
no problem. Thanks for inviting me. It was nice to meet you. I'd not met.
We don't always talk about karate, but you're always welcome anyway. If you
thank you very much. I'm sure I can talk about other things.
Nice one, dude.
For Katie, I'm well into my 50s. There you go. I'm off now. I'm off to have my afternoon nap. Thanks. Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.
Bye, Russ. Russ is gonna go chop ice blocks. I know that's what they do. Yeah, man.
Hey,
There's a T-shirt in that somewhere.
Hey, did you get to watch the flow grappling match between Philip and
I only saw the highlights of it.
Okay.
But he did. It sounds like he held his own pretty well against him.
Yeah. I mean, well, Gordon Ryan's like retired. He posted some. I think he posted a big chunk of the fight on his Instagram.
I feel like a lot of the fight was back control.
It was
like but from both of them.
Well, he said he wanted to put himself in situations where he wanted to test new stuff and try and see where he was at. So it was kind of like it's almost like it was pretty much what it was like a role between them two to like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, like somebody who respects another guy, they're gonna go roll, and then
15 minutes is a long time to to be in that kind of position.
Oh, is that how long they were doing it for?
Yeah. Guys, check these out. I finally got these.
Oh wow, dude! When did that
Yeah.
come? That is massive.
That came recently. It's big. It's a biggie boy. And look at the tail.
Chris from Snob and the Slobs was asking me if it was worth him having a crack. You should watch the end of this. It looks like it is. I had no idea it was that big.
It's awesome. And then I got this one as well, of course.
Oh, bro. That's so cool.
I think they came out really good. They look amazing. They're as good of quality as anything you could buy in like Target or Walmart or anything.
Nice.
Man.
They're phenomenal. So I definitely recommend. I got two. I got two of each. Like I have one of each that I'm leaving in the box that I'm never gonna open as well.
Yeah. Proper collector style.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Best toys in Comicsgate for sure so far. But this is where we've got to head, you guys. We got to get the Immortal Asadi, Tailless, and Rokon action figures of this quality in the future. That's coming.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Del, tell the good folks at home where they can find the Immortal Asadi and how part 2's coming.
You can find it Indiegogo, Tier 1 Comics, or at Tier 1 Comics on Instagram. I have links up there for the Indiegogo. We're still in demand. Issue 2 is coming well. Nick is back from his voyages, and he's been throwing out a lot of like dope, like he's really nailing down the art and the concept and these new characters we have, which is pretty cool. It's coming together nicely, so pretty pumped up about it. I've been pretty busy with military stuff, but he's been very active with sending me some material, and it's gonna be like 10 times better than the first issue.
Yeah, he said he wants
The first issue is awesome. I own a copy. It's phenomenal, but the art's only getting better. Like Nick just gets better and better at doing the art.
Yeah, he does.
All right,
it's great. He's not afraid to try new things either with his art, so which is cool.
Yeah, it's you find that with a lot of like if you become like a fan of an artist and you look at their early work, you watch it evolve and change over the years, and I think a lot of artists are a bit reserved about starting a comic book because they want to find like air quotes a style first.
Right.
Honestly, you build that style as you create the book because it's a big project, man.
It's a lot of work. I think you're right. Yeah, you just got to do it, and that's how you learn how to do it. But Nick's awesome. Dale's an awesome writer. This book is really cool. I can't wait for part 2. Part 1 is still in demand. If you want to buy part 2 on Indiegogo, check that out. And then you got your Rokon, of course. Oh, look, we're almost caught up with you. We're what? 100.
Yeah, dude. For
$160 behind you.
We've had a few recent backers in.
Yeah, we have. So
it's not bad for 2 Hail Marys, right? Like,
if you guys don't know, if anyone watching this don't know, this is our book, Rokon, drawn and painted by Max and written by myself. Check that out. Definitely back us. You can get original art by Max for just $45 USD, so not a bad idea. All right, so thanks everybody for tuning in. We got 5 viewers. That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. What the conclusion is, Danny LaRusso's a little bitch, and strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Hey.
Take it easy.
As we've just seen, drugs make your problems go away. So make it the best day possible. Remember, it's drugs that counts. Take one and take a chance.